Sometime in 2017, I met a guitar builder named Scott Pavarnik. At that point, he'd only been in the business for a couple of years, but he was gaining notoriety from underground metal guitarists for his unique designs. Through an odd series of coincidences, he ended up living near me when it was announced that the mighty Exhorder was reunited. Vinnie LaBella summoned him to build the ultimate axe. I expressed an interest in filming the build and assisting when I could.
It is indeed a day of metal, for we are on our way to see the mighty Exhorder.
Then the time came. Scott, his girlfriend Pam, and myself made the pilgrimage to deliver the Godfather in New York, then stick around for the mayhem that would ensue over the next few days.
Are y'all the guys that did this?
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Tony.
Tony?
Yes, sir.
Marzi.
This right here is guitarist for Exhorder right here. What you got to say, dude?
I say this man here is a fucking very talented, gifted person. Look at this. This is all that's all I got to say. God, that is gorgeous. My God.
Oh, I'm just micing this up.
Microphone? Man. Wow. Look at that headlight. Oh my God.
Papa. Vincent.
Watch the head. Who built this shit? Rochambeau right now.
And was I in the middle of it?
I've been seeing pictures here and there.
All right, now get close, Vincent.
That's beautiful. Unbelievable.
Oh my God. Yes. No, we knew that. Get close. I didn't know that.
Don't cry.
Look, like he knows me. I'm like, get close. Like you're supposed to know what Holly wants.
I can't cry.
Don't cry.
Well, would that ruin it for you?
No, I'll cry with you.
That's strong.
Yes, sir. I got her stoned. Oh my God.
There's some pics. Fun piece of machinery there.
That's totally used, man.
Someone pictured out?
I'm scared as
You want me to hold on to him?
I'm so stoked. Yeah, this is beautiful.
My purse is right there. Well, your purse is bigger. Don't fit in your bag.
Here's tonight. Here's tonight.
This is for tonight?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
It's you.
I don't know what's
Really?
Hey, man.
It's me.
Just fucking play it, dude.
Like, in 12 years, you're going to be, look, I pulled this purse out.
Balances perfectly, man. Wait till you put the straps on it. It'll sit perfectly for you. It's easy to play and it sounds awesome.
It feels fantastic.
So this is the turbo trend, so you don't have to have a wrench.
Oh, you can just go right there?
Yeah. I charged it up last night, so it should be good.
Yeah, the pickups are fine.
Yeah. Middle is normal. That's voice 2, and that's the split coils.
You're right.
Yeah, my guitar player, man, he got a patent on those joints, man. You wanted to try them out?
It is gorgeous. Did you believe this fucking guy? Look at the lace wood, man. He turned me on to this lace wood right here. It looks like a snake and shit, you know?
Yeah.
Look at the way the logo pops on it.
Yeah, no doubt.
It's got that copper kind of a...
Check the back.
Right. You got it on the back, too.
Yeah.
When we finish our penny floor, you need to come lay down on the penny floor with that thing. That'd be fucking fine. Just lay down.
Naked.
Just have it covering you.
Like a fucking naked shot.
Spread your legs out like that so that the V, just lay it like that.
So gorgeous. And if you got the cutout down here, I thought everything. It's got the little cutout back here. Is that the brass block?
Look
Yeah,
at you.
yeah, it's brass block.
Look at that. Look at
The
that.
springs.
Man, I'm so glad you turned that guitar around. I'm a big fan of this right here myself.
Yeah.
I got it on my fiddle.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
But not that deep. That's that makes me
I mean, I built it like how I want to play it.
jealous.
Look at the leash on the trim. I Can't wait to plug this motherfucker in.
Yeah, me too.
I'm gonna sound check with this bitch.
It sounds unbelievable.
It is thick, huh?
Articulate. Just, you can hear every note.
Is it wrong that I want to have sex with you right now?
Yeah, kind of wrong. Yeah, too much.
Crazy, man.
I'm afraid of this shit. Oh yeah, so I'm flipping out. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
You have an anxiety for his guitar.
I've been watching the progress little by little. Have you seen it?
What is it?
The pictures and the progress of the remake.
Oh, no.
So,
So
shot.
that's my favorite.
Scott brought his copies of Slaughter in the Vatican and At Death's Door to be autographed. And the interesting thing about that was, Kyle had never seen At Death's Door on vinyl. He'd only seen it on CD and tape.
You've never seen At Death's Door on vinyl?
No.
Oh my.
Oh my God. That looks like a real rock and roll show right there, bro.
Facilitate everything. What I want to do is I'm going to take this off and leave it alone.
Looks like a Firebird, Iceman.
I play Firebirds all the time.
This right here, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. LaBella goes for angle cabs. As well as angle lamps and Marshall cabs.
Yeah, I usually play the angle cabs. Average North American decimator pedal.
Oh, very nice.
Drive the max on a little bit.
Oh, nice.
That sounds good. That's not bad.
This has been the secret song since I was 15 years old.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think you can come up a little bit.
Very nice.
Play without it.
There was so much excitement over The Godfather that there was already talk of a potential Godfather Part 2. And the man hadn't even plugged it in and played it yet.
Yeah, you can kind of do like a take, like an offshoot of it. I don't necessarily like the little curvy thing back here.
You still want to do like the Gibson style, but with
Still tapered body.
tapered? Do you want it tapered on the top like this?
Yeah, because when your forearm comes over the top,
So it'll be lace wood, then we'll have mahogany here.
that would be killer. That's not an issue, right?
No, not for me, man. It's actually going to be easier to get a piece of lace wood that width, because it's kind of hard to get it as wide as the V. I was going to have to fucking search out some shit. But,
I like that it's got the USB thing on the back for the.
yeah, he got that one for that one too, man.
That's killer, man. That's such a. That's groundbreaking, man. That they did that shit.
Yeah.
No more changing 9 volts, man.
Even the bathroom in this place is fucking awesome.
Which is probably why when I switched from the top out to the other side on the angle. Correct. Yeah.
You with the keyboard?
That's when you knew you were a good player. I wasn't.
No. Back in this situation. Because this fucking strap sucks. Any bullshit. You gotta put this strap up.
I took it downstairs and said, hey, man, I'm gonna do this yours. So I'm going straight in.
And these dots glow in the dark.
Yep.
They white as a motherfucker. Seeing mine.
I could use some in the center.
In the center? All right, let's get a guitar T.
A few known names were there on both nights in New York. Kim Dilla, who was Volvatron and Guar, was there. Max Norman was there on night 2. And on top of that, on the first night, we got to see a Metal Injection interview take place right in front of us. That blew my mind.
Do you have any cash left?
$1 exactly.
I get to look like I just sold you a used car.
Yeah, you got to do another hour.
More songs. Yeah. So, Vinny, we warmed them up for you, bro.
Thank you, baby.
So, in a few minutes, for the first time in a bunch of years, Exhorder's about to take the stage again. How the fuck are you feeling?
I feel like $1,000.
You're getting ready to feel like a millionaire. I'm proud of you, dude.
I'm ready. I'm excited to be rocking the new SP custom guitar my man Scott made.
Yeah.
You had a fine hand in also.
All part of the music.
I'm going to try not to pop a string so I can play the motherfucker through the whole show.
Awesome.
Without having to switch them.
Very
so
nice.
Yeah, no, I'm excited. I'm excited.
Very awesome. Very awesome.
I'm
excited too. Warming up, Herb.
Warming up, man. Warming up.
Very awesome. For the first time in a bunch of years, Exhorder is about to take the stage. How do you feel?
It's extremely excited.
Hell fucking
yeah. I can't wait. I really, truly can't wait.
There were some technical difficulties with one of the amps, so after a few songs there was a good pause for a few minutes before any music could resume. But here comes Kyle Thomas to save the day.
You guys know the best time to go to the dentist, right? Tooth hurting. Why do chicken coops only have 2 doors? Because if they had 4 doors, they'd be chicken sedans. Speaking of jokes, my first marriage.
Everybody went gaga over that guitar. Between songs, Kyle asked the audience, "What do you guys think of Vinny's new guitar?" They responded with a loud cheer.
Not bad for a first day back.
Yeah.
You were getting into it.
Oh, I was, man. That's the power of the metal. I gotta shake your hand, dude.
That was awesome.
I tried to stay.
Yo, that motherfucker is like, came from like...
A few of the Suffocation guys were also there on the first night. The thing with that was, they couldn't make it to the show until late. So after the show was over, Terrence, Charlie, Josh, they came down to the basement. They were greeting everybody, introducing themselves, saying hi. And for some random, unknown, unexplained reason, the lights in the basement went out for about 5 seconds. Everybody's gasping, going, "What the hell?" And in the darkness, you can hear Terrence. "Man, as soon as the black guy comes in, this happens." The lights come back on, everybody laughs their ass off, and the fun resumes.
Raise the top on.
No. But you know what I'm saying? Like, Scott was like, dude, I gotta have my action way up over here. And I was like, no. I don't get that. It's gotta be
dropped it all the way down.
It's gotta be hitting the fucking deck, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you dropped it like all the way fucking down. It was like,
you see? Now here's the deal. You don't gotta worry about this. You don't gotta worry about this. You don't have to worry about that. That means that Scott, fuck you, Scott, when you gonna fix my controllers like this one? You're fucking performing, dude.
I'm trying.
Wow. Yo, what gauge is on?
9 to 46.
Okay.
We are in day 2. They're supposed to be playing The Law in its entirety tonight with some covers and hopefully a couple of songs from Slaughter for those who missed last night. It's gonna be a fun day. Gotta plan out what to do for the rest of the day until the show.
Shoulder to shoulder. And we were like, the backstage is like down. So we waited till like they went up. By that time, the place. But
This is what I like. These two as well. I like that. Apparently, 72 special shirts were made for the St. Vitus dates. I guess they split up the shirts between both nights. They sold out on night 1, so when they became available again on night 2, I bought 2 of them. Oh, and I bought a different shirt because it looks cool. And then you have these pics. Here's one for the 9th, here's one for the 10th, here's one for the New Orleans date, and these bottom 3 are just for anything. Actually, the gold one arrived after we got home. And just for giggles, Scott ordered this one-off colored set. Only him and the guy who made the pics own a set. I think everybody, including the band, underestimated how huge these comeback shows were going to be. Because both nights in New York were sold out, and the New Orleans show was pretty packed. So I say that supposedly 72 shirts were made, because I saw a lot more of these shirts in New Orleans than I expected to see.
Do you like your strap real low?
No, I like it about, midway, but this one's weird,
Okay.
I don't like it too
I mean,
hard.
obviously not Johnny Ramone level,
No.
but
That's just too hard to play, man.
Well, I mean, this guitar is huge anyway, so I mean, you gotta have room.
pad all this shit, right?
yeah.
Dude, look at this. Getting high. I know I'm fucking low on the motherfucker.
I'm like, oh my god, I must go there.
Dude, I'm not.
Look at this.
Oh, what are we looking at?
What is that?
Wow! Photoshopped,
Yeah, that's
obviously.
Photoshop, yeah. That's amazing.
That's funny as shit.
Now, what if they had the Slaughter of the Vatican artwork, like, in the Vatican? That'd be some
That
shit,
would be
wouldn't it?
disturbing.
That was enough. That's part of that's part of the reason. No, we're extending the part without the bolt. You're just doubling the part and leads into the bolt. That was the way for the building.
warming up and practicing right before night 2 begins.
Oh yeah, that's too.
Very nice.
Vinnie was turning 50 that weekend, so our first celebration was right there in the basement after the second show.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Vinnie Vincenzo, the Godfather. Happy birthday to you. You didn't die yet.
Let's go. Still alive.
Angel of Death, I'm gonna have to cut off at least one ball to hit that note.
Let's go.
And I'm gonna put a tight squeeze on the other. So we got one more for you. We thank y'all so much for hanging out with us. We're gonna go over to the merch booth afterwards and hang out and talk to y'all. And if you got anything you want us to sign or whatever, we'll fucking do that. I think we got a birthday cake in here too. You guys want some fucking birthday cake? I want birthday cake.
Oh, you found it? You could have fucking done it.
Alright, you ready?
Sing.
Yep. 1, 2, 3.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Vinnie. Happy birthday to you.
Thank y'all, man. Yeah. She's too much.
Preparing the Godfather for New Orleans. Homecoming for Exhorder.
So, we just finished the second show, second night. How are you feeling, dude?
Better than I did last night.
Oh, nice. You getting over that fever?
Yeah, the fever was non-existent.
Awesome.
However, I'm ready to go back home. I love New York. Beat that ass. Now I gotta go beat my hometown's ass.
Very awesome.
They haven't seen us in 8 years either, so.
Very awesome.
It feels good.
Very awesome.
I appreciate it.
Warpers, man, okay.
Yeah, that's War Curse. We're transporting some of Exhorder's gear, though, because we're getting ready to head down and play with them in New Orleans on Monday.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. So y'all riding together too, or what?
No, just War Curse in this one.
Oh, that's right, because Exhorder's
yeah, little known fact, though, Jason from Exhorder is actually our bass player.
Very nice.
As he stands right there.
Hi, Jason.
He's a man of many bands.
Night number 2 of Exhorder kicked a lot of ass. St. Vitus has been obliterated. Now, they were supposed to play the law in its entirety last night, but I guess due to demands, from people who couldn't make the first night, they played a bunch of songs from Slaughter as well, so they didn't play the law in its entirety. After being in New York for 2 days, I was pretty sick of the expensive hotel prices. New Orleans, Louisiana, here we come. We flew out of New York and had a 3-hour layover in Charlotte. Getting where we wanted took all day.
Have a Pepsi with your metal. What do you think, Scott? Would you like Pepsi with your metal? Yes. Good. Have some.
I don't know what's too, but you know what? Sometimes I bring just a couple of beers.
Alright, so we got this right here. Oh yeah, that was fucking good.
Our flight has been delayed by a couple of hours. Let me just say, sitting around the airport with absolutely nothing to do sucks.
That was probably the most terrifying flight ever. It was raining pretty hard and there was a lot of turbulence. Now, I've personally never been too disturbed by the second half of Psalm 69 by Ministry, but let me tell you something. When you were 10,000 feet in the air, on a shaky airplane, Scarecrow actually does become scary.
I thought that fucking flight would never out.
Dude, that was like the scariest one I've ever been on.
Hey, myself too, man. I've
like...
flown a couple times a year most of my life. Man.
Hey, man, just got in.
How y'all doing?
Take a selfie, man. Get a selfie, man.
Hell yeah, I'm just videotaping this.
What's
How
up,
you
man?
doing?
We in New Orleans, you hear me? It's going down for Ground to Go, you hear me?
Very nice, very nice.
Man. For real, though.
Then he picked us up from the airport and invited us to dinner at his place. That was great because most of the band was there. It was my first time in New Orleans, and I was treated to some New Orleans-style gumbo and roast beef. Amazing.
You can still make it out.
Hell yeah, that's it.
There it is, the old Exhorder tattoo. It's all faded, but it's still there.
Yep.
Well, it's really cool to see this. Kyle still had his from the other night, you know, just on stage.
Yeah, he didn't get all full of shit. You know, he didn't get no jailhouse stuff or any fucking.
Well, he didn't laser it off all those years of active.
That was my first tattoo. That was like 87. I don't even know how old I was. I think I was 19.
50 now, so let's do this math.
Carry the one.
King cake.
I know.
There's a reason it's called king cake.
Look, watch out for the baby, man. You see the baby? Baby, what's got a little plastic baby they put inside the king cake.
Oh man, look at that.
It's pagan ritual. It's a pagan thing. Yeah, all of this shit's derived from the pagan culture.
Oh wow.
The baby is the rebirth. They always do this in the spring solstice. So it's to represent the rebirth of the spring and the sun around the equinox, right? But the layman's tradition is, and the New Orleans tradition of it is, if you get the piece with the baby in it, you got to buy the next king cake, and it keeps the spring, you know, the rebirth going. Yeah. But you sometimes could eat. You take a bite into that mother, break a tooth,
Eat the baby.
Eat the baby.
You ate the baby.
And shit the baby out.
That would hurt.
Maybe.
Probably the law.
I almost got a copy of it myself, then it turned out to be like $55, and I was like, man, I gotta save up for the trip.
Got all rights right now to re-release some of this stuff.
Well, it's 2 hours before the show's supposed to start. I got some Zapp's New Orleans kettle-style Cajun taters, and I'm gonna do something I haven't done in months. I'm gonna drink a fucking monster.
On the outside, Southport Music Hall looked like a dump. Inside, it was as big as it needed to be. Even the green room was bigger and better.
This right here is where the mighty Exhorder will show its hometown. A good kick in the ass. Time for metal.
At Southport Music Hall, the stage was a lot higher than it was in New York. In fact, it was really high, but if somebody wanted to stage dive, it could definitely be done. So I joked about it to Kyle. I said, hey, there's going to be some real stage diving tonight. He just kept looking at his phone, sitting on the couch, and he casually said, I would think twice before jumping off that stage.
I had thought about it like a million times. Like you see people when they start crowd surfing, they start getting a little close to that side, you're like, what if anybody's
That is a scary
over?
area, man.
Took about 30 years, but I saw it happen.
What about that dude at Headliners?
That fucking lunatic did it to himself. So this was some funny shit. This is just speaks to like Lamb of God's fan base. This Headliners place, there's like a second floor which is really fucking high up. It's probably 15 feet to the actual floor, and then banister on top.
5 foot.
Yeah. So I mean, say this guy probably 20 feet or so. They set the merch tables up along this thing, so like
you can overlook the stage.
Merch, you can kind of look over that and see down to like the venue and the crowd. So for one, I was standing there and I was dating this really snobby girl that was mad as fuck because people were bumping into her and shit. So we moved to the back. And the very first note, like they fucking blacked the lights, first note of Lamb of God, this lunatic runs, fucking jumps off their merch table and Superman's 20 feet to the ground and wipes out fucking everybody where we were just standing. Wow. Knocks himself unconscious, they have to take him out on a stretcher. Like this guy waited all fucking day for this show. That was his moment, and then he didn't even watch it. One note and he was unconscious.
Wow.
Fucking dipshit.
One chance.
They're set up like that in Chicago, the Concord Music Hall.
Overall, it was, most people tolerated it.
Pretty close.
You get a few knuckleheads on each side, and it doesn't.
I never learned it.
On the turf, they feel like it's.
Ooh, I got that.
This is gonna go next to
This
that
is the
picture
bro
of me,
up.
Dr. John.
Good.
That'll work.
Awesome, man.
Thank you, fellas.
Man.
Hope y'all enjoy.
You've been a gentleman. Thank you. Thank you guys so much.
Matt, thanks for being game.
Is that your real name?
That is not my Christian name, no.
Exhorder is the pioneer New Orleans metal band. Had they lived anywhere else in the world, they just wouldn't have the sound that they have. So, naturally, there were a few known names that showed up to New Orleans as well. A few of the Superjoint guys were there, a few of the Down guys were there, a few of the Crowbar guys were there. So, this trip, it wasn't just about making friends with Exhorder and hanging out with those guys, but we also made friends with the road crew, we made friends with the guys in War Curse, and naturally, we got to introduce ourselves to some of the known names that showed up.
This next song we wrote when we were fucking children and nobody knew anything better than just having a good time and writing songs that we wanted to fucking hear. So guess what? This song is the embodiment of who we were back then and who we hope we become today. And none of us knew we'd be dads with jobs and shit. But fucking A, let's hear it for the Exhorder. You guys remember a cat by the name of Chris Nail? I think Chris is here tonight, and he asked us not to invite him up to play, but we said, fuck you, we're gonna put you on the spot and come play a fucking song with us. You guys wanna see Chris Nail play a fucking song with us? Horse shit. You guys wanna hear Chris Nail play a fucking song with us? This dude helped pioneer this whole fucking style. For the love of God. Where you at, Tank?
Jason!
Where's Chris? He's coming. There he is. Y'all make some noise for the man himself. The day I met him, I didn't like him. I'm just teasing. No, that's a true story. Listen, me, Chris, Vinnie, David Main, and Andy Villafara, we started something in '86, and we didn't have any fucking plans other than just playing songs that we like to write. So this was one of the earliest ones that we did. It's a song about the fight between good and evil, because that's what heavy metal's all about, right? Hey man, long time no see. How you feeling back there? Do you need to check it, or are you good to go? Welcome, Greg! All right. Legions! Oh! Yeah!
We missed it! Good job, Chris!
Make some noise! But mostly we want to thank our new management team, ISA, because they're the ones that have helped us bring this back together and put it together in the way it fucking should be. So y'all make some noise for Matt and Simon, would you? Trying to think. Did we forget one? Which one did we forget? What's it called again? Dessa what? Desi Arnaz?
Gordon Lightfoot.
Gordon Lightfoot. Sundown, you better. Wait. Just kidding. I just lost my ride home. Alright, you guys, you wanted it, you asked for it. This song just happens to be the one, so we saved it for last as a special occasion, okay? But don't ask us for any more fucking favors. Are you ready? Desecrator! Thank you, we love you! Good night! Fuck yeah!
I hated to see that guitar go, but I loved to watch it leave. Vinnie was using Ernie Ball paradigms. There were strings that were advertised to never break. The E6 string broke that night, and I think Scott kept the broken string.
Only for Mr. Vinnie LaBella.
That's a long time ago, brother.
He still got it.
Oh, yeah. Not like this dude.
But he's got the stuff. He's playing fiddles around a little bit.
man. Dude, I'll tell you what, man.
The band, say that for real, dude.
Yeah. Dude, you built. And him too, he was on a good form. Especially
All right, so just had the little pre-after party over at the backstage area of the show. Every single time that Exhorder plays a local show in New Orleans, they always have an after party over at Pat's Pub. So that's where we're headed. The night has only begun.
we having fun or what, dude? Yeah!
I stayed at that party until 5 in the morning. Good food, great people, good music, more cake. When I woke up, I didn't end up going to Mardi Gras until the evening. There were a couple fights, the road the Uber dropped me at had garbage all over it. Mardi Gras by yourself at night is definitely a situation where you have to watch yourself. I followed people to Bourbon Street, and the costumes were fun to look at, the topless chicks, and the dancing was fun. The big thing that I noticed was that most people were drinking. They made it out to be this big drinking holiday, and that doesn't really interest me since I don't drink in the slightest. But the most unlikely happened. I started walking the other way on one of the streets, and who do I run into? Fucking Marzi Montazeri and a couple guys from the road crew. A 12-hour drive from New Orleans all the way home. We drove through a town called Diamond Head, so the forces of metal really were on our side. Thrash is back. And from here on out, we will desecrate among the legions of death.